Thank you, Manish, for the welcome note. So we have a packed day today, both from a content perspective as well as from an interaction perspective. The first to kick off the entire inciting and the thought-provoking sessions today, I would like to call upon Dr. Wieland Schreiner. Dr. Wieland Schreiner is Executive Vice President for SAP Business Suite for SAP HANA and member of the Global Executive Team. He is responsible for the next generation business suite, which is available both in the cloud and on-premise. He oversees the development of SAP S/4HANA, steering innovation and redefining enterprise applications in an era of in-mobile computing and big data. So he's been with SAP for more than 20 years in consulting and development. He's held various roles in management positions in application development and software engineering. With his deep understanding of supply chain, execution and manufacturing process, paired with strong technology background, particularly in the area of in-memory computing, he plays a key role in supporting our customers on their digital journey. So he studied mathematics, physics, and applied computer science, which is an amazing combination, and I think also explains a lot of what you're about to see from University of Karlsruhe, and holds a PhD in mathematics from the University of Kaiserslautern. I hope I've not pronounced that wrong. So over to you, Dr. Schreiner.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome, and thank you for the invitation from you, Manish, which I followed, like to follow. I am very much on user group meetings. Not only here, also in Germany. Clear, this is the oldest user group. But when I look back to the years now, and I'm since '99 here in India regularly, coming here to Bangalore and also other cities in India. And when I look now back to the evolution and the growth of that, what we have done here in these years, especially then also on the Indian user group, Manish, it's really a big applause to you, because what you created is unbelievable. Thank you very much for that and all your support from SAP. And I would really like to point out, when I came here in the beginning of '99, the first time to Bangalore, and we were just a small group here starting with the Labs India, which we basically started based out of an acquisition we did in Germany in the CRM space. I couldn't imagine that we would have 7,000 people here in the labs. And this is what more closely is now the number today. 7,000 engineers, Indian engineers, working on SAP software to your benefit and creating the solutions. And if I look back to the origin of SAP, when we founded SAP in '72, and how SAP was working together with the customers, the first computers of SAP were owned by our customers. So we developed the software even not on our own computers, we developed it on our computers of our first customers in Germany. And it was a kind of a collaboration between the company SAP and the knowledge, the process knowledge of the customer, and that's basically what it is till today. So what I really like to get here into this huge lab even more, that we work more closely with you together directly here in India, because you have the biggest opportunity on earth. You have all the engineers here sitting here in Bangalore, which work on the core solutions of SAP, develop the core ideas and the core IP together with you, and that's something where I would really like to encourage you, work closer together with us. We would like to work closer with you directly, and what Manish is doing here with the INDUS user group, to bring it more here to Bangalore, to make it closer to this lab, and to make it closer to SAP, I think that's really the big step forward. And this is how we created SAP, how we made SAP great, how we have a great solution for you, and how we made, in the end, successful business with you and supported your business with our software. Now, a new age started with a digital transformation into an economy which is, just on the road to go there. And I would like to speak a little bit about that. Yes, I'm development. Yes, we have a nice disclaimer out. Yes, I speak always about also future stuff. But what I really would like to explain to you, why is it time to start now and to do it? Because if you look to the situation where the industry, in all industries, is, in every company, in each and every industry, is at the moment at an inflection point. And I can describe that a little bit more personal. I can do that out of my family. Yeah, we have 4 kids. We got 2 nice girls, 19 and 16 years old. And then we got a little surprise. We got 2 boys, twins, now 9 years old. So what is the difference? What is the difference that you can now experience? Okay, yes, these girls are in the internet, they have their Facebook, they have their friends with the Facebook and all that, that's all clear. But what I can really see at my twins is what means millennials. What means people who have absorbed that technology in a very, very personal way. I would like to describe that in one story. When I bought for my twins 2 used iPads that they can start with that, it took about, they were completely happy and they were configuring it immediately and they were up on their floor, and about 10 minutes later Alexander came down, that's the older one, 8 minutes older, and he was shouting, "Christoph has a new girlfriend, Christoph has a new girlfriend." And I said, oh, 10 minutes to getting on Facebook, getting something to know and a new girlfriend? That's world record. So I asked him back, and what's the name of the new girlfriend? And Alexander didn't know the name. Siri. Okay. I thought everything is fine still, so I realized, okay, he figured out to speak to that device. And Christoph came down and was proud to present me his new girlfriend. And I said, come on, what did you ask her? And he said, I asked her how will be the weather tomorrow when we have the tennis tournament. And how will be the weather? And she described it in the afternoon, we will have sun and everything will be fine. Okay, and then I asked him, what do you will go to ask next? And then he got quiet for a moment. And then he was looking to that device. Then he pressed the button. And he asked, do you like me? And that's an interesting question. So this device is very close to him. So it's very personal. So people in this age, these millennials, they want to be served very personally. It's all about individuals. And we'll come to that when in my speech a little bit more often. When you see it comes down to this segment of one, to this unit of one, to be very personal. If you can reach that relation to your customer, to that consumer, if the consumer starts to speak about your product and feels that you serve him, you are in business. And you are in a digital business. Why? There's nothing more close to your heart here than your device. Yeah? This is your mobile device, which is very personal to you. It connects you to everything. It has the infinite calculation power of the internet. It has everything what you need very close to you in a very personal way. And it serves your needs. Whether it's on big data, whether it has to learn, it has to adapt to you. So it has machine learning behind it. So everything what you see as trends comes together with this device to you. And this means that something is changing. All these technologies by itself, you can adopt and try to reach every of that technologies, but it has to play together in a smooth way. So it has to be served to be everywhere and anywhere possible. So it has to be served out of the cloud. So that's the reason why these tendencies, these technology tendencies have now transformed businesses and have started to influence business like never before. If you're driving a Harley Davidson, you're a very individual person and you will want to be served very individually for a high configured engine. I was the last 2 weeks in Yellowstone with a lot of these bikes. You saw them. At the north entry of Yellowstone, there's a village where all these bike drivers meet and then have the experience in Yellowstone with their bike. You could not see one bike which was the same to the other. Not one guy who looked the same to the other. They were all individuals. And let's start a movie to see what this means for the business. Where's the sound? We need the sound. Could we go back and have the sound? Oh, come on.
New bikes aren't selling, guys.
What are you going to do?
Can we get this movie? Yeah.
Yeah, what else?
What if we hire more sales reps?
Yeah, what else?
What if we digitize the whole supply chain?
So people can customize their bike before they buy it.
That worked better than expected.
I'll dial it back.
Yeah, dial it back.
Just a little.
Live business powered by SAP. When you run live, you run simple.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the movie. And what is behind it, it's clear. I would like to get a live experience on my bike and have it individualized for me. So like Christoph asked Siri whether Siri likes him or not. So it is about personal experience. And that is what is behind that. And let's give me some examples in the other, on the other companies. If you digitize experience, if you can run, instead of just selling you an engine, give you the service to provide the service of air, then you have to know a lot about that individual. You have to know the predictive maintenance on that specific manufacturing site. Otherwise, you can't guarantee the service level which the guy needs to have. If you go for your personal clothes, yes, on Under Armour, then it's not about only to have the better shoes and the better shirts. It is about the connected athlete, where you can share your data, where you can compete for your next half marathon or marathon, where you can compete with the community and share the data with the community. And if you look to the John Deere trucks, which have been always superior, today it's not only about the superior truck, it's about the data of about my ground, about my situation, and when the truck knows that it has to be up on Monday, because then we go out, then the truck has to be ready. So everything has to be prepared before, and that's only possible if I have the digitization and the digital information about everything what was done with that truck and about the environment. So it's about personal experience, and that I can use that equipment to my needs and that it serves to my needs. So it's always about data. It's always about seamless integration, seamless experience. Not that I feel the different technologies. I have to get a seamless experience, and it has to be connected. So if we look to that into the digital business framework of SAP, what does this mean for your core? For that, what is your business suite for your core? Well, there's a dramatic impact. We speak about customer experience. We speak about consumer experience, to be precise. And we speak about the Internet of Things. Two things which bring the transaction value down to an individual serving, which means the individual transaction decreases in value, because you serve a unit of one. It's not about mass production, it's about serving the individual. So you get lower value transaction in that digital core, but the number of transactions is going up like hell. It's a completely transformation in that core. And if you think about Internet of Things, each and every part has an address. It can act, it can speak, it can plan, and it can act autonomously into that digital core. So again, the number of transactions go up. To make it a digital core means we have to redesign that core to really scale to infinity. Which means it's not allowed that any kind of secondary information, any kind of aggregate or whatever is in the system, blocks the speed or the throughput through the system. So redesigning the digital core means that we have to serve individual transactions on a larger scale like ever before. So 2 reasons why we built S4HANA. The one is this digital business. The digital business and its re-architecturing. All that what you see on the left side on the slide. And the second reason is the consumption. Think about Christoph. He wants to consume. He doesn't care that he consumes based on a huge set of data and a huge set of calculation power. He just has this device and consumes it. Everything what he wants to consume has to come out of the cloud and has to scale. So again, scalability, but it's the consumption which has to be so seamless. So re-architecturing of the core, and you have to have the scalability out of the cloud to serve the segment of one, Christoph, with a unit of one, and in a live way. And that all at a scale. So something has to go with that, because if you drive that, then you are not allowed to take care for each individual transaction. You have to automate whatever you can automate, and this has to run as seamless as possible. And you are only allowed to take care for the 0.0 whatever percentage of exceptions. And all the rest has to be automated. But you can't know all these rules. You don't want to maintain all these rules, and you won't want to configure all these rules all the time and change all that rules. And this is the great thing on machine learning. It learns based on your exceptions, what you change, and data-driven, it learns how to optimize, how to see, read, listen, and understand, and learn to change the rules automatically. This is what we do with machine learning. Clear, in an enterprise business, you start with the most obvious one, with invoice matching now, but we will get that in each and every area. Whether it's in product lifecycle management, whether it's in supply chain, whether it's in procurement or in finance. Invoice matching is most clear. You can't care for individual transactions if they are much more value, like you see them, for example, on an Apple iTunes for $2.99. You can't do invoice reconciliation for $2.99. This has to work 100% automatically, 100%. And this is what you want to reach as close as possible with machine learning. So again, scalability, cloud consumption, and automation. Automation has to get your friend if you want to run a digital business. How does this work with the customers? Greatly. We have now, in the last quarter, announced a big growth in our business with SAP S/4HANA. We are now passing the numbers go to several thousand customers, more than 1,100 projects actively running where we know already the implementation date, where they want to go live. And more than 250 customers are live with the system, and based on S/4HANA Finance and S/4HANA 1511, which is the full update including logistics. So we have live customers already in a 2-digit area for the 1511 version, which includes logistics. This only just 1 year after that, and these were the customers, and clear in the upper left corner, Manish was also on Sapphire. These were the customers which were speaking on Sapphire about S/4HANA and their success with S/4HANA in May in Orlando. But let me categorize now what we did from an innovation perspective. And for each and every category, I give you one example, and then we can go from there. Clear, it's the re-architecturing we do. We go deeply into the software and change data model. I will explain why we do that and why it's not disruptive for your business, why you still can upgrade to the S/4HANA solution from your business suite. And I will explain with a very drastic, easy example what means changing user experience. Because it's not about technology question, HTML5 or something like that. That's all clear that we do that, but there's much more behind. And I will speak about unifying of functionality in the core, which has basically to do especially with the industries. Let's focus first on the architecture. I do it in inventory management because you have seen it for financials already, but I would like to explain you the consequence in inventory management, which is different to that what you get in finance. If you post a goods receipt or goods issue to our system, then you have a primary information, and the primary information is I received 3 parts, which is a +3, or I moved 2 parts out, which is a -2. That's all the primary information you need to have. That's what physically happened in the reality. Which means that we insert this information into the MSIG table and then header information in the MKPF. That's all what is physically needed. But why do we have all these other tables? Okay, on a row-based database, we need to know what is available on storage level, what is available on plant level, what is available on the SKU level, what is available on the batch level, on MCHB, what is available on the project level, what is on the quality level, on the stock level, on the blocked stock. All this information needs to be updated. What is the ugly word on this word updated? If I ask my friend Kartik to add 3 + 4 and ask my friend Sanjay to add 11 to that, then Sanjay has to wait till Kartik is ready. No doubt Kartik is a very fast calculator, but if there are 10,000 Sanjays waiting, the 10,000 has to wait till all 9,999 have added their values. Even that they are very fast, it's a waiting time. It is what we call in IT a database log. And we do this database log for all these tables where we update a figure. Only in the one we insert. All the other tables are updates. And then we even update all the history information. That's the first time SAP developer learned that there's an English language, so we added an H for history at the tables, yeah? So all the tables copied, and we added an H on that. So we updated the information also on the history, which means weekly, bi-weekly, month information, yearly inventory. We all stored that values nicely that you can read them on any database. What is the dramatic change on HANA? The dramatic change on HANA is it is a column-based in-memory database. It doesn't need aggregates. This is S for HANA. S stands for simple and for suite. This is dramatic simple. 2 tables, master data and the movements. +3, -4, +7, -11, that's what is in that table. Nothing else. And because this information is exactly in one column, I just can aggregate on the fly whatever I need. I'm not restricted to those tables which I have shown you before. I can give you any kind of inventory information on the fly out of the in-memory database in the same time than before. So what is the great thing on that? There's no indices, no aggregates. +3, -4, +11, and so on, and one computer tag, and you can insert all in the same computer tag. This is ultimate scalability. That was the technology explanation. Let's come down to a business, that you understand what does this mean for your business. And I just took an outbound OEM here. We are Germans, we love our cars, so we did that business first. Let's go. If you're producing cars, then you have a tag-based production. Every 90 seconds, there is a car going to the next station, which means in all lines, there is at the very end one car which leaves that line and is ready. And that's exactly the point in time when you want to consume all parts which went into that car, into your finished product. You want to make 2,000 goods movement, and many of those are common parts. So, what is the scalability on a classical system? The scalability is pretty easy. You get up to 70, 80 parts consumed per second. That's what is the scalability classically. Why? All the updates. If you go for the scalability which you need, then the OEM asks you, can you please do 150, 200 lines per item per second? Because that's what I need to post real-time inventory. And then you give him S/4HANA, and he finds infinite scalability till the end of the machine. So this is the difference of SAP S/4HANA. SAP S/4HANA provides scalability also for individualized transactions. Why do I go to that example? Because I think this example is so important to understand that the consequence for the OEM, if he doesn't have that solution, is that he posts this inventory at the end of the shift. And for the 8 hours, what does he take? That's easy, safety stocks. He just increases safety stocks at the production line to be sure that nothing happens and that he can survive the 8 hours. And this is the money I take out here. And this is the money I give back to your business and back to your CFO. This is where the money is behind. Now let's come to the end user, that the end user also consumes the same experience than your CFO. The end user in the past, clear, got the beauty of the 90s on the left-hand side. That is when he starts an MRP run. And he has to be an expert because what he is plugging in is a 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, and so on. 6 parameters. What he has to plug in, which combination, he comes to me, I teach him. He brings his colleague with him because sometimes he wants to be on vacation, so we teach 2. Or he brings even 2 colleagues with him because sometimes the one is ill and the other one is on vacation, so the third has to do it. So we teach 3 experts. And in the worst case, I come to the crazy idea in the next release to fill this line here also with the parameter. And then all the 3 come again to me, to my rate. And we teach him again what is the other combinatorics, and then he goes. This is what is behind the word expert. This is not a business user. It's an expert. He knows the parameters of the machine. That's not what you want to have as a business system. The same problem I solve on the right-hand side, just with a different starting point. When you're on your Fiori Launchpad and have all the tiles, then you get told, this is my order fulfillment, good. This is my sales order, this is my purchase order situation, good. And I see one tile with a negative number on where I see, I'm short on a material. Then you click on that tile. And with that, you give me 500 milliseconds, or to be more precise, you give it to HANA. 500 milliseconds for HANA, that is calculation power pure. Because now, what I can do now for you, I can bring up this Fiori screen, which simulates where you are with the Fiori with the situation of your material, that's fine. But what is even more important, it provides you automatically 4 decisions. The one is keep this decision as it is. Okay, nobody wants to keep that. That's the left-hand side with 0 stars. But then it proposes you 3 resolutions. And based on the quality of the resolutions, it tells you a 2-star or a 3-star. So I clicked on the 3-star. And why is it 3-star? Because it gives you all over time still a positive inventory on this situation, and not only a 0, a real positive inventory with a safety stock. So that seems to be the best solution. I click on it and I take it. Where do you know that UI from? That is what is close to your heart. On your mobile, you scroll, you take the different 3 options, you take the middle one, click on it and confirm. It's exactly what you do here. And this is the reason that Fiori not only technically runs on a mobile. That's fine. It is designed to be a mobile transaction which proposes you, has the intelligence, does the embedded analytics, simulation, prediction, and the decision support for you guys. So that you, as a business unit, only have to pick the solution. This is what is changing on the system. You don't have to be the expert. You're running that as a business user. So, last point on the innovation categories is that we unify functionalities. Many topics which were developed for the discrete industry in the past, like JIS or JIT, just in time, just in sequence, get applied in other industries as well. What is the consequence? We can measure the consequence. 75% of all discrete industry systems in the world are not run by companies which run in the discrete industry. Interestingly, retail. 75% of the retail systems which we have where activated retail switches on are not running by retail customers. They just use the retail functions in some way in their business. Because with the digital economy, more and more paradigms out of other industries get applied in another industry. That's the reason why for the major industries we want to get rid of these switches. We got rid for discrete industry in 1511. All the features of discrete industry are now standard. And we get rid of the industries of the retail switch to its most in 1610, which is our next on-premise version. And clear with that, we want to unify systems and functionality and make combinatorics of different solutions even possible now also for you. But how do we serve that to you? And why is it important to come to this second aspect, not only changing the architecture, also change the consumption of S/4HANA? The best and the fastest way to consume HANA is out of the cloud. Why? The innovation speed in the cloud is based on quarterly shipments. As fast as never, you could experience innovation change. And clear, we allow you flexible deployments, a unique selling point of SAP. We provide you S/4HANA in the cloud as well as S/4HANA on-premise. Whatever you would like to consume as shared service in a standardized way, easy to consume for all your employees, you consume it out of the cloud. Wherever you would like to differentiate or even still to modify, even that I don't like that, modify my solution, yes, you can still run it on premise, and yes, you can integrate because it's the same material, it's the same invoice. The invoice can go up there, the invoice can be transferred down to the on-premise system. It is the same solution, easy to be integrated between the both. And you can extend the system in the cloud with field extensibility. You can extend it in the cloud with HANA Cloud Platform, even with partner applications. And yes, you can extend it also on-premise as you know it. And there's the native integration I spoke about, with an effective governance of SAP cloud services and the way of guided configuration. Long-term projects are over. That is the reason why this cloud adoption is that's what makes the adoption of software much faster. And this is the reason why I think cloud is not only seen by you as the future, we also see it as a future and can provide the solution. We do it for professional service now first, highly standardized industry. We do it for the full enterprise management as an overall ERP solution. And we do it for the marketing cloud, where in the marketing cloud, the topic of the individual and the feedback from social media is very, very important. So we integrated that into a cloud solution. I don't go too much in the cloud because I think we have a nice demo on the real-time inventory. And what is the important on the real-time inventory? I tried to explain with the use case. And now we show it to you how that looks like in the system in a way that you can understand that it's not only the re-architecture, it's also the UI change, which in the end makes the solution easy to consume and interesting from a business case. Priti, please show the customer what is available today in the system.
Certainly, Wieland. Good morning, everyone. So, SAP has an large automotive customer who produces one engine every 8 seconds. And we will show this simulation to you, what it looks like. So when a customer did that, so they had an issue. They were manufacturing these engines in large batches. And if we look at the trend, it is all going to individualization. So they said, we want to go towards make to order. We want to individualize our engines. But today we have physical limitations and IT limitations. So we said, so what are they? So they said, we post 10,000 postings in the system every minute. Our systems can't handle it. So we said, give us your data and let's see what we can do with it. So I will go into the system and show it to you, but let me give you a context of what is happening in the manufacturing space today. So if we think of the individualization, what we really need to provide is flexibility at scale to provide the whole notion of unit of one, which Wieland has addressed in his presentation. And we used to do optimization on lot size level before. It doesn't work here because when we talk about scale, when we talk about flexibility, when we talk about speed, we really need to be able to capture real-time inventory. Now, with what we have done, as Wieland explained, with the table simplification, we are able to do certain things which remove these bottlenecks. And so when we go to the system now, and I show you the simulation, we can switch over to the thing. I will explain to you what we have done. We got the data from this customer, a large automotive supplier, basically, of engines. This is a screen which is production monitoring. You can see they provided us information about 5 engines. You can see them here on 3 production lines where they are producing these 1 engine every 8 seconds, which results into 10,000 postings every minute. And when I start the simulation, this is, you can see the postings here. At this point, I haven't started it, so there is no data here. When I click on Enable Live Monitoring, which I will now, it immediately starts posting this information of the thing. So you can see the postings down here. You can see what has been issued. For example, the exhaust can immediately dive into that information from here. This is a little card to show the goods issued. You can even see goods receipt, which goes straight when the engine is done into the storage. All this is fine, and you can see the engines are starting to post. Every 8 seconds, 1 engine. You can see there are already 7,000 plus postings. You can always monitor this. This is all happening live. So the postings keep going. And so this is what we've done. And then we also said, okay, this is the data coming in. But what can we do with it? So we used our Fiori responsive, beautiful user experience to create analytics. For example, in inventory, one of the most key critical indicators is average inventory turnover. Manufacturers are tracking it closely because it hits the balance sheet immediately. That's what is on the balance sheet. We provided them information. You can see that this is going up, which is good. Average inventory value, which is going down. So all this, you can collect this amount of information, make the inventory real time, remove the barriers of IT, and provide insights. And this prototype has helped the simulation itself, they can reduce their cost by 8%. So with that, Wieland, this is what we can do today. Maybe if you could explain to us what we can do tomorrow or near term.
Thank you.
It completes the picture. Thank you.
Thank you, Priti. And if you look to that screen, what we can do today, if you see this kind of overview page, which we do on a Fiori launchpad for the manufacturer, and if you do the same for your purchasing department, you do the same for your sales department, you do the same for your PLM, then you can imagine how the system starts and how the data-driven business works. You see what is going on in your physical world, you click on it, you give HANA 500 milliseconds, and then it works. This is the way how we redesign the system and how we use, on the one hand side, the great analytic power of the system, combined with the calculation power to predict and simulate, and to create the decision supports. So having said that, you understand that it's a complete different paradigm, how we work and what we can do in a digital world. We switch to my slide. So with 1610, or with 1511 to be more precise, we offered you the purpled area, so accelerated material requirement planning, simplified procurement, and all that. So with 1610, we complement that all. So we go to advanced ATP, we go to the integrated extended warehouse management. What does this mean? Yeah, we have taken extended warehouse management, integrated into the S/4HANA, now as the solution which is also running integrated directly in S/4HANA, and can feed a production warehouse immediately now out of an extended warehouse management based on handling units and all that, what you need, especially when you do inbound production. So integrated quality management, integrated to warehouse management, and clear then for the PLM area, the optimized portfolio on project management together with embedded software in product development. We all know parts are always combined with embedded software. This has to come together in the solution. We did it on S4HANA. And clear, all that comes with the Fiori user experience you have seen now. And clear, we have clearly built all that what we had in S4HANA Finance, especially also then in 1605, already in the market, now also into the on-premise shipment of S4HANA overall. So what we do with S4HANA 1610, which is supposed to come out end of October, we provide you a full update again on S4HANA, including all the logistics areas. And as you see, finance just made it to one bubble. All the rest we did in logistics, and clear, we will continue on that roadmap. So how do we deliver that this year, and how we do continue to deliver that on the next years? Cloud leads. Every quarter we deploy it in the cloud, and they get the first time the features. And every year we consolidate it on-premise to make it available for all our on-premise customers as well. Clear, we serve also the SAP Business Suite, but all the great innovation you have seen, which is based on HANA, we can only do on S4HANA. So, what I wanted to make clear is the product is ready to go. Thousands of customers are implementing it now. 251 are live. This just within 1 year. The innovation is going on, and we gave you an easy migration path to go there. It is as easy that we are not allowed to say that's an upgrade because clear it's a new product. We call it conversion, but we use just basically the same tools to do the upgrade for you. And this is something which I think is a perfect evolution, that we don't come with innovation, which is hard to reach for our existing customers. This is where we take you with us on a journey, and this is the reason why we reach these adoption figures. You can try it. You can try it on www.sap.com/S4HANA. You can plan your transition with all the needed actions. You can get all your top questions answered on our Q&A. And clear, if you don't find the question, send the question to us. We'll plug the question into the Q&A and answer it accordingly. And clear, you can explore your solution roadmap because we publish our roadmaps for the rolling 4 quarters. Means we plan every quarter in the cloud, and for the rolling 4 quarters, we publish our roadmaps always to you. Thank you. Have a safe journey with S4HANA, and see you on this meeting. Bye-bye.